What's up, guys? Today we have another episode of Faceoff Film Review. Let's get into it. We have Jake Naso from Duke, one of the best in the country, going against Mason Cohn from Syracuse, D3 grad transfer. Really cool to see the success Mason Cohn has had. He was a multi-sport athlete in Division III Tufts, playing hockey and lacrosse. Transferring to Syracuse, he's had a lot of success. I love seeing that.
Now he's at the big stage.
Goes early there.
Jake Naso wins it for Duke. Now Naso had lost every first face-off of the season except for one game against Penn this year. He won the first face-off. That's the only time he did so. That's the only game Duke has lost.
That is a crazy comparison. Spoiler alert, Naso also wins the first face-off here and Duke loses. They did the same thing. He lost the first face-off against Penn and they lost. Now he just won the first face-off against Syracuse early on Cohn, and Duke ends up losing. Spoiler alert, sorry. But yeah, that is crazy.
Old Farms, that's where he played his prep lacrosse.
What an elite exit by Naso. He is situationally aware of Cohn coming in with a shovel counter and pulls it, through the legs, TTL, opens up his left leg and boxes out right away. That is a very elite exit. So John Mullen put out there a 4-star recruit from Mass, and Naso just nails the whistle. He's heating up. Mullen goes out there cold, but this is a very, very good exit. I call this exit the brushback. It was executed good, and he does a great job boxing out, but Mullen still has a pathway to that ball. He pulls it straight back rather than putting it over his right shoulder on the ground, instantly boxing out. I would have loved to see Naso keep rotating his nose over that ball, pushing it back to the D zone, and that way he's boxing out immediately, rotates right into it, and he can use his momentum and swing into it, hitting no possible path for Mullen to really get a chance on that ball. Nice exit by Mullen here. He settled in, second face-off, reacts great to the whistle, and does a right shoulder under exit right to himself in the air. And this is one of my favorite exits. It's very hard to counter because he's in and out so quick, protects that ball, protects that stick with his body, creates great separation, pops it right to himself, and then just misses the catch. And then accidentally kicks that ball forward. Sloppy mistake. But yeah, Naso is one of the best in the country. To have a face-off that clean against him is something to build confidence on. Cohn's back out there. Not sure why they didn't leave Mullen out there. He won that clean clamp, exited, takes a little bit to settle in, and it seems like he was settling in great. But let's see if it pays off. Great clamp by Naso, and great awareness from Cohn. Counter right away as soon as he loses that clamp. He just got him too high on the elbow. You see, he stands up. Whole duration of any face-off, he is to stay low. The lowest guy always wins. Right? He stands up. If he stayed low and used that power, and leaned back and put his hands right through his legs, could have got him. He stands up. Because of that, goes up a little more, and gets Naso right on the elbow. And he gets called for a hold. I don't like this at all. Cohn gets called for a technical, stays on. Looks like the game plan is to sub on that midline. They're going to throw another D-midi out there on that sub. So if that's the game plan, he has to react a lot quicker. As soon as he gets called for that technical, he needs to step right over that midline. So that way they can sub immediately. But here he takes his time, looks like he's going to defend Naso, and then runs off. And now Duke, an odd man advantage here. Almost a goal from Brendan O'Neill, who is the best player in college lacrosse. It's not good. Great brushback by Naso. Right, a lot of guys on this brushback will just get the clamp and slide their head parallel to the ground back. That leaves the ball there a lot. But here, look how he keeps rolling his wrist forward, using his top rail to brush that back. Creates great separation. First time GB. Great stuff. 6 for 6 right now. He is heating up. John Mullen back in. He does a great job reacting, winning the clamp. And even his pull and his exit were great. He just needs to catch the ball. Naso does a great job getting into him, but it's just a silly, sloppy mistake. This is the second time this has happened on one of Mullen's faceoffs. And now, flag on the faceoff. Duke is going to go man up. What a counter. He reacts to losing the clamp right into the shovel counter, stays engaged the whole time, right? Doesn't give Naso any time or room to exit. Gets right underneath the shaft, uses his body to create that strength and that power to shovel Naso off that ball. Great wing GB by Duke. But another thing I want to point out is Mullen is a freshman. Just played in high school last year. Now he's playing at the highest level, going against one of the best guys in college. It's definitely a big adjustment for him. He's doing well. He's doing well right now, and I give him a lot of props for that.
Make it 8 for 8. The Blue Devils leading.
8 for 8. Naso was 100%. That is crazy. Cone back in, and that's a win. That's a win for Syracuse, their first win of the game off an early from Naso. Now, hopefully they can build on this and get things rolling. That's a great clamp and a great exit. He pulls it right to his left shoulder, keeping right hand pressure on that. But the ref is in the way. Yeah, they're just a shitty bounce. Great first time GB. And Cone takes it in and scores a goal on his first true face-off win. He is a dangerous, dangerous man. Great goal by Cone, but Duke's LSM here, this guy subs off to get in the hole and support this. They just give Cone a wide open path right to the net. Good on Cone for seeing that, being aware, and taking it right to the rack. Easy goal that could have been prevented. See, right there, get in, support that. There's no other threat. They're subbing. So I don't know if Cone needs a breather here or if Mullen and him are going every 2. Mullen's back in. Hell yeah. Seeing the success that Mullen is having against Naso is firing me up right now. Quick reaction, quick hands, wins that clamp. Naso, he does a good job at reacting and getting into a position. Great position to be in. He's taking that step, putting his hands directly behind Mullen's hands so he can't exit. Naso's mistake here just gets him way too high. Gets him on the forearm, gets called for a hold here. He either needs to do one of 2 things. One, stay in this position without touching Mullen's arm, right, in hopes that Mullen takes too long to exit and gets called for withholding. Or, come through with that reverse shovel in one motion, staying below the glove cuff. Right, the moment you get a little higher, like he does, he's going to get called. Stay low, use your strength from your legs, lean back, pull him right through in one motion.
Now, he played in high school at the same time as playing hockey, but he took the first 2 years off at Tufts because hockey was his love. Didn't play his freshman year, didn't play his sophomore year. And then, as his head coach, Casey D'Onofrio, said, 3 years off the lax, and he came back as the best player.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Cone didn't play lacrosse his first 2 years at Tufts. Come back and how the success he's had is very, very cool to see. Hell yeah. Great right shoulder under exit, creating separation. Doesn't give Naso a chance to counter. Great win. Looks athletic, fast. Not a big fan of the black cleats, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, we missed this face-off, but I don't know why coaches do this. If you have a face-off man that just won a face-off extremely clean, why pull him? Let him ride that momentum. And once he loses, then sub him out. I'm not sure if they're going every 2. That's what it looks like. But I don't love that rotation for face-off men. It's a mental game. You have to ride your highs, and once you get into your lows, then make that switch. Something Jake Withers and I did during the World Championships against Team USA. Something Jack Oldman and I did during the Fall Classic. You just have a lot more success doing that. Because once a face-off guy gets hot. He starts winning consistently. And by pulling him, he starts to cool down. I just don't love this rotation here. Okay, Naso rakes here. And he sort of took himself out of the fight. Look how high his left hand comes up. He's not able to use all the surface area of his head to come right through when he rakes. Instead, when he lifts his left hand, his head only uses a fraction of the surface area to rake that ball out. And by keeping your left hands low, you can get fully underneath and use all that surface area and rake out that ball. Way to stay on that. Good GB by Syracuse's wings. Great exit. Great exit. Created separation. Won that clamp clean. That right shoulder under, which I love. Great separation. Doesn't give Naso a chance to counter. Now this is different than a backdoor exit, because a backdoor exit, you turn your wrist backwards and you expose your shaft. Right shoulder under, he's protecting his shaft the whole time. Naso can't counter or get into him. Brings it into his body rather than a backdoor. You have to bring it outside your body. Great, great exit. Naso gives Mullen a taste of his own medicine. Does almost that exact same exit, but he may have gotten away with going early by the looks of Mullen's palms up here. Probably pretty upset that there was no call. Okay, right here. Naso wins that clamp, gets his top rail over top quicker than Cone, but Cone is still in this fight. He tries to bottom rail rip, but when he rips, he's just bringing his hands out to the side. When you bottom rail rip, keep turning your wrist underneath Naso's head and push forward. You're going to have a lot more surface area to work with, and you're going to be able to dislodge that ball. Instead, he rips sideways, takes himself out of the fight. Naso is able to exit, rush back with that ball. Does a great job boxing out. Clean win. I haven't talked about this, but Naso's stance, his hand placement is unique. It's a lot different than anyone else's in college. I think he has a lot of success with these in and out exits because his hands are really close. So the distance traveled with his left hand doesn't need to be as far if his hand was lower, meaning he has to travel a lesser distance to fully get that top rail over that ball. Now, you don't see him in many tie-ups. I'm assuming he doesn't have much strength with his hand placement so close, but he's able to get in and out really quick, which is his bread and butter and which is why he has had so much success. This has been the second edition of Faceoff Film Review. Duke versus Syracuse. If you like what you saw, smash that like button, leave a comment, and please subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.